Hey everyone, my name is Andrew and this is my 9 tips for sharing your creative process. In this video we will go through some methods to help you understand better the many ways in which you can share your creative process with your audience or in order to get even more followers. While I will be explaining everything, there will be a time lapse of my drawing in the background. My first tip is to create a story for your artistic purposes. For your first thoughts about your creative process and what to even draw, you must first think about what do you want to draw. You could do this step in a number of different ways, but what I found to be the most useful way is to write down your ideas and even some lore about what you want to draw. Elements such as the character's name, the location of where your character is, or where your subject matter is depending on what you intend to draw. So we can begin by writing down a few ideas. With these few ideas, we can either get into drawing straight off the bat or go into more depth about the lore, such as how I did here. I will be writing the name, the location, and similar characteristics that I find important about bringing this character to life, and giving me a good idea about how to illustrate the character in a drawing. With these ideas, we will be able to focus on what kind of expression we want to bring out in our illustration. You can share the lore as your posts, your sketches, thumbnails, and the final illustration, sharing your bits and pieces until you reveal the whole story in your illustration. You will see me use these writing ideas in my descriptions for my posts. My second tip is to post your thumbnails and sketches on social media. You can very easily post your thumbnails on socials, since you are already going to make them to figure out the composition of your illustration and the overall position of your subject matter. You can share them and benefit from having more exposure online and opening the possibility for new people to discover your art. Also, your followers will be more engaged and excited about the upcoming illustration that derives from your thumbnails and sketches. Here I also include a little bit of lore in my description, derived from step 1. My third tip is to post your own method of sketching. Our personal sketching technique is one of the most important tools in our creative creation. It is essential for us to develop a comfortable way to sketch anything we want, because this is the stage where you start your creative process of putting things together as you want them to be. This is an amazing thing to share online, as it is the very beginning of your illustration and your creative ideas. While your followers will be very excited to see how you have taken the sketches into a polished and amazing illustration. In the example I'm showing in the video, you will be able to see my two different ways to sketch. One is with messy lines, which will be brought into my final illustration, and one made with a brush that encapsulates the overall shapes of the objects I wish to draw. The fourth tip is to share your studies and research online. It is important to draw studies of some of the elements you would like to include in your illustration. The elements you choose to study depends on what you don't know exactly how to draw and are unfamiliar with. If you were to implement a wolf in your illustration, you would need to first draw a wolf from life to know how to manipulate its shape and size to fit your narrative. Posting this on social media helps illustrate the importance of studies from life and how they can help in creating your illustration. Hence, your followers will be very impressed about the concept of learning from life in order to draw creatively. In the example, I have also written down my observations about the objects. You can do this in order to engage your followers into your thinking process and how you have made use of those observations to execute your illustration. You can also attach your studies into your illustration in order to make the connection between them more appealing and obvious. My fifth tip is to post concept art for your upcoming illustration. Creating concept art is very useful for figuring out the designs of certain aspects of your illustration beforehand, so you won't run into the risk of not knowing what to do when you execute your final effort. You can share this concept art with your followers and they will take interest in how you created the ideas that were implemented in your final illustration. My sixth tip is to post time lapses of your drawing process. Time lapses are a great way to share your process online. People will be able to see how you have made your marks from beginning to end in a fast and easy to understand manner. Also, young artists would be able to learn or get inspired by your process. In this segment, I will take you through how a time-lapse can be made in Clip Studio Paint, as you see in the video. I have also left a tutorial made with screenshots on my forum post, and you can look at that as well if something seems confusing in the video. I have linked the forum post in the description. I recommend that you give that a look as well to accompany the video, and to understand these concepts a little better. You can change the seconds of your time-lapse in different other settings that would aid you in making the best time-lapse. The seventh tip is to capture close-ups of your work-in-progress illustration. These close-ups will be able to offer your followers a view into the upcoming illustration while it's still not finished. These close-ups are essentially screenshots of the finished and polished sections of your illustration, while the rest is still a work in progress. In this way, your followers will be kept updated on the progress and will be waiting eagerly to see the final product. My eighth tip is to post speed paints or real-time painting videos on YouTube. Posting speed paints is very easy and efficient. You just let the software record your screen while you are drawing, and you can just leave it on as much as you would like. Then you can save the recording and simply share it for people to enjoy on YouTube. So you might as well record yourself because it exposes your art to more people without any effort. The following you can get from YouTube can increase your numbers on other social media platforms if people see your video and like your work. Besides, you can keep buying the key so you can stop and start the stream at any time you would like to take a break. My ninth and final step is to post your illustration. We have reached the final step where we can allow ourselves to post everything we got on ArtStation. I choose to post everything in ArtStation, but you can also post your final illustration on Instagram or Twitter, whatever you are most comfortable with. In my ArtStation post, I will make my illustration the highlight of the post, while everything from my thumbnails and concept art is below. This way it gives people a very easy way to see your overall process into making your illustration. In conclusion, there are truly many ways to post your process online, and these are just a few of my tips. From here, you can either do exactly as I have done in my tutorial, or you can get inspired from this and find different more efficient and creative methods to share your creative process. I hope this has helped you in understanding how to engage your followers with more excitement about your work. I wish thy good luck in your artistic journey.